Okay, Debbie, you're right there. How's that hip? All right, so take a deep breath in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Just relax the shoulders. Bring them up to the ears, just gently slide them down the back. Big round, big movements, dropping the shoulder blades down. Relax the arms. Gently nod the head forward, breathing out. Lengthen the neck slowly. Bring the head up and back, breathing out. And forwards against the chest. Lengthen, lengthen, drop the head right down. And then slowly rotate the chin from side to side. Back to the center. Last time, tilt the head back. Back up to the top. Scan the horizon to your left and to your right. Just being aware of any tension you've got there. Breathing one more time. Back. And then back to the center. Okay, from here we're just going to go into a squat. So feet shoulder width. And remember when you do the squats, point the knees forward towards the big toes. That way you keep everything in alignment. So take a breath in, scoop your abs and stretch your arms out, stick your bottom out, tuck your core in. And just take it as deep as you feel comfortable. Do about 5 like this, and then we'll add in some additional arm work. If you want to use weights at any time, or loops, or bands, or rings, please do use them. Don't wait for me to, because not everyone has got equipment. And last one. This time we're going to step out to the side, any side you like. Big step, and again, squeeze. Step out, now adding in a bicep curl. Switch. One more, big steps, and bend the knees. Just working the quads and the glutes. Let's do one more here. We're going to change the arm movement. Stepping out again, this time bring your arms up. If you can get up as high as you can. Nice and easy. Last one here. Good. From here, just stretch out one leg to the side, keep the other knee bent, leaning on the bent knee, push down into the hips so you feel a stretch on the inside of your leg. And change, just alter the weight to the other leg. Go a bit deeper if you can, go onto the ball of the foot or stay on the flat of the foot and just try to get a little bit deeper. If you are deep, put your hands on the floor, support. And up and change. Deeper if you like. Good. Okay, coming back. Feet hip width. Okay, let's try a bit of balance work. From here, we're just going to bring one knee up. Place it down. Nice and easy. When you transfer the weight, make sure you place the foot firmly on the floor. Bring the knee up as high as you can. One more on each side. Whoops, just watching everybody. Okay, well done. Okay. From here then, back to feet shoulder width, rolling down through the spine. 3 times. Breathe in, roll down, engaging your core, lengthen the back of the head. Top of the head between the feet. Back of the neck towards the front. Bending the knees, engage your core, restack back, breathing out. Remember to bring the head up very last and shoulders down. Do that a couple more times. So just rolling down through the spine. Engage your core, breathe out. Take your time. Just relax at the bottom. Try to go a little bit deeper. Try to stretch out the backs of your legs. Bending the knees again, roll back up. Shoulders down. Okay. Right, so we're going to do one more, last one. As you roll down through the spine, go down into your down dog and then into a push-up position. Roll down, walk slowly into down dog, stretch up through the legs and the back, lengthen, head down. Then into your push-up position. As you know, any push-up position you like. Modified, I'm going to do modified today. So knees on the floor, legs up, and just gently lower yourself down to the floor. This is a great strength builder. Let's do two more. And two. Good. Come back onto all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Okay. Right, we're going to go into swimming. So if you want to use weights for each arm movement, you can. So checking your back in tabletop style. Start by using one hand on the opposite leg and stop the body from rolling. Keep the table of the back flat. Really lengthening the legs and the arms, very good for your stability. Not as challenging as when we were in the community centres and we were practicing this using the ball, soft ball. Let's do one more on each side. Good. Come up into cat stretch, arch the spine, head down, into cow, back up into cat, into cow, and then gently lower yourself down into child's pose stretch. Really lengthen away. Staying in this position here, what I want to do now is, if you can, come forward into a full-on press-up position like this. So your back is long like a plank, and just bring your feet out slightly for balance, and then bring one hand into the center, and then lift the other hand up into a rotational plank. Just hold for a few seconds, come back down, change the hand, and switch. Very good. So just balance, strength. If it's bad for the wrists, don't do it. Let's do one more. And change. Good. Let's come back once more to child's pose stretch. And then we'll go onto our backs. Right. From here, just sitting tall, I'm going to use my band. So if you've got a band, use it. Place it around the soles of your feet. And we're just going to do a rotational row. So rolling back, scoop your abs. And a couple more. And scoop, push the spine away with your abdominals. Moving into the row, coming back to your right, drop the shoulder to your left. A couple more on each side. Let's do two more, 1 and 2. Coming back, let's raise the leg. So let's start with the right leg. Bring your right leg up and we'll just stretch out the back of the leg here. Try to keep the other leg as low as possible. So we're trying to maximize the stretch in the back of the leg and also into the hip. And then push to the heel to stretch the calf and the Achilles. Good, relax the foot, lower down to your right. If you've got your right leg, lower down to the right. Try to relax the area into the hip. Let those muscles go. Good. Bring your leg up. Changing hands out to the right with your right hand and let your leg go all the way down to the left if you've got the space. And just feel the stretch into the hip and up into the chest, into the arm. Come back up and let's do a few circles here. Circle around in as big a circle as you can manage. Change direction, making sure you use your core and your breath. Then breathe. Nice big round movements. You've got to keep the body still as you do this. You're focusing only on the leg. Good. Last one. Okay, we'll repeat on the other leg now. So bring the left leg up, right leg on the floor. Bring this leg forward and just stretch. Try to keep the leg as straight as possible if you can. Push through the heel. Okay. Stretch the calf and the Achilles. Push through the knee. Relax the foot lower down to the left with the left leg. Again, dependent on space. Just let that leg drop as low as you can. Good, then up and over to the other side. Put your left hand out and stretch into the hip. Bring your leg up and let's do a few circles in each direction. Okay, smooth and round. Keep your neck and shoulders relaxed. Hips steady. Last one coming up. Okay, bring both feet now into the band. We'll do a few double leg stretches here, just to warm up for later. So get the band fairly short. You're having to really push against the band, the resistance of the band. Breathe, breathe out. Engage your core. Bring your head, neck and shoulders off the floor, gives a bit more intensity, or you could just keep them on the floor. Let's try and go a little bit lower. Really working your core. Very good for your lower abs. Let's do two more. 1 and 2. Okay, put the band on the floor and feet down. So getting into your setup then, going to work on the core. Just do a small little bit of exercise for the pelvis. So if you take a breath in, engage your core, drop the core down towards the floor, and really feel that tighten up all the way 100%. And then relax. Take a breath in again, breathe out, squish down 100%, release halfway, take it to 30%. And relax. So just a few pelvic tilts, relax the arms on the floor, just rock the hips up towards 12 o'clock, away to 6 o'clock, arching the spine, and releasing the tightness in the lower back. Just a couple more times, just to get it working. And then we're going to think about a clock. We're going to visualize a clock on our hips. 12 o'clock here, 6 o'clock beneath, 3 o'clock to the left, 9 o'clock to the right. So bringing the hips up to 12, tip the hip bone down to 3, down towards 6, and then over to 9 and back up to 12. And the challenge here is to try to do this isolating the legs from the pelvis. So it's just a small movement. If you overdo it, all of this will happen. So we want to try and release that. Okay, change direction from 12 o'clock to 9 to 6 to 3 back up. And a couple more of those, just very small, smooth, just focusing on isolating the hips from the legs. Last one. Okay, now we're going to do what's called a reverse crunch. So this entails lifting the hips up, again, very good for your abs. So again, relaxing the arms on the floor. Let's lift the legs up to tabletop. From here, just going to lift your hips up, scoop them up, and gently roll back down. So let's do a few more of those. So it's kind of like the preliminary to the rollover. Then just moving into the lower back area, working your abdominals. Two more. And one more. Bringing these to your chest. Okay. Hands behind the head. We'll go into chest lift. So relax the elbows down. Actually, if any of you have got these soft balls, you can put them into your mid-upper back. And that's a really good stretch for your upper back. So maybe next time we can organize that. We'll have the right equipment for that. So roll up through the spine, breathing out. Rolling back onto the floor. Again, focus on the scoop. And just head, neck, and shoulders. Last one of these, then we'll rotate the elbow to the opposite knee. Do about 5 reps. Rolling up, twist, and down, and to the other side, and down. Number 3. Coming up, number 2. Number 2. And last one. And last one. Okay, from here then, we're going to move into single leg stretch. So bring the legs up into tabletop, hands on the knees to start with. So we're going to build up this into double leg stretch with arm circles. Starting off with one leg, again, any height, just warming up, extension, lengthen, use your core, use your breath. Keep your neck and shoulders relaxed. Are you on the floor or lifted? Let's do a couple more here. One more on the other leg. Back into tabletop, bring both hands onto knees. As you continue with the one leg, let's bring in some arm circles. So as big as you can manage. And just coordinating the beginning and the start, the end and the finish of each movement. Okay, last one on this leg, back to the start. Moving into double leg stretch, we'll continue with the single. And remember that extension we had when we were working with the band. Really get those legs all the way out. Keep that high if you have to. Okay, so you don't have to worry too much when your legs are higher. It's slightly easier. Let's do 3 more. And 2. And 3. And knees to chest. So I'm going to roll over onto your, I'm on my right side, so if you want to roll over to your right side, you're going to extend the arm out to the side, going into chest openers. Again, you can use your weights if you've got them. So keeping your legs absolutely glued to the floor, and do as many of these as you can in time. So float the hand up, follow, and allow the arm to go all the way down to the floor if you can. Breathe out. Slowly bring it back. Over the course of time, you're going to feel like the shoulders are going to get rounded, perhaps maybe with just adopting a slightly relaxed posture when we're sitting around, but we've got to open up that chest, stretch out the pecs, stretch out into the deltoids, the upper arm. And let's do one more here. And slowly come back. Moving on to the legs then, we're going to pick up the band again if you've got a band, or you might have a loop, or you want to use your ring. Place it around the sole of the foot. If you don't have a band, it doesn't matter. You can do all these exercises without. So from here, keeping the leg parallel to the floor, I'm going to bring the leg up as high as you can go, and just a few times. So just working all the hip muscles. We're going to do this in different directions. That's good. Up and down. If you're very flexible, you can go quite up to the ceiling. I'm really not that flexible in the hip, so this is quite tight for me. Okay, now we're going to move into circles, so smoothly around. So you've already warmed up with the circle. So if you've got the space, try to get the circle as big as possible, whilst keeping the body as still as you can. I'm changing direction, moving in the opposite direction now, up, down, a couple more times. And then we're going to move into an exercise where we're going to do some rapid beats. And pause here, bring the top leg forward a little bit at about an angle of 45 degrees, and just pulse the leg up and down. You can do this without the band if you prefer. Okay, so this is just going to work the muscles in the hip. Coming into the center, so 3 positions, front, middle, and back. Again, just keep pulsing. And then one more behind, whoops, running out of space. So try to get the leg as far back as possible. And then back into the center, moving into side kick. Bring the leg forward, push back through the heel, keeping the leg parallel to the floor, pointing the toe at the back, bring it forward. Smoothly round. Again, you've got to keep the body still, just working the legs, the hip flexors. Lots of control. Last one coming up. Good. Bring the leg up, and we're going to bring the leg into a stretch for the quad. So heel up towards your butt, knee down towards the opposite end of your head. So right down, but keep the leg underneath the height of your hip. Really pull that leg up and relax the muscles. Good. Slowly then, we're going to come up into a mermaid stretch. And then we're going to move out onto our front. And then from here, just lie down onto your stomachs and bring your hands up underneath your forehead. We're just going to focus on the legs to start with. So again from here, relax your head down onto the floor. I'm going to just lengthen one leg away and then the other. But I want you also to just, not just use your legs, but also make sure you use your core and your breath. Breathing in, and then really try to touch the wall behind you. Really lengthening those legs. Last one. Then we're going to bring in the arms. So from here, just paddle up and down, swimming. Again, opposite arm to opposite leg. Again, use your core, making sure you use your core each time you do a movement. So lifting that core up off the floor 30%. So imagine you've got like a fresh egg under your tummy. You're trying not to break the egg. Okay, let's do 3 sets of 5 rapid beats or 5 slow beats. Pause. And pause. One more. and relax. Okay, so if you have got hand weights, pick them up. If you haven't, it doesn't matter. And from here, going to have the arms extended out at the height of your shoulder. Relax back down. So you're going to come into kind of like a swallow dive. Going to raise the chest off the floor and extend the arms out to the side. Breathing in, engage the core. Breathe out. And down. 2 more. And 1 more. Okay, we're going to do the last one. We're going to hold it for 5 seconds. Breathe in, engage. Good, and release. Okay, come back into child's pose stretch. And then we're going to change sides. Nice, long, deep stretch into the back. Stretching out your shoulder, bring your right arm under your left, reach the other side of the room, of the space, and then change. And then go over onto your other side, and we repeat the chest openers and other leg exercises we did earlier. So lying on the floor, float the hand up all the way down to the floor behind you. And take your time with these stretches to really allow the chest muscles to lengthen. Again, up to about 5. And yeah, just take your time. Good. So making that your last one, we'll move on to the leg movement. So again, if you've got a band or a loop, try it with a loop. Pop your foot in the loop or the band and bring your leg out. So just raising the leg as high as you can, slowly with lots of control. Just working the hip, trying to get the hip joint strong, keep the muscles around the leg strong, helps prevent falls when you get old. Let's do 1 more here. And then we're going to move into circles. So again, just as big as you can manage in the space available. You in each direction. Keeping the body still. Changing direction. Moving around. Keep it small if you have to. If it's uncomfortable, just keep the movement small and long and big if you can. Good, then we're moving into the beat, so the 3 positions in front, middle and back. So just pulsing the leg up and down. Again, use your band or your loop if it will reach. And just working the glutes. Last one here, moving to the center, pulse up and down. Good, and then behind you, back again 45 degrees, just pulsing, working your glutes. Back to the center, moving into your quad stretch, knee down, underneath your hip, heel up towards your glutes. Coming up into a mermaid stretch. Really lengthen out. Okay, so there's a couple of stretches I want to do while we're on the floor. If you move yourself back into an all-fours position, we're just going to do a hip stretch again. You take your time doing this.